begging you, please delete this stuff. This is my reputation, bro.
Let's break this all the way down, because the situation with Lil Meech and Big Meech just blew up online, and it's way uglier than people imagine. Their whole family name is getting dragged right now. And the receipts out there, they're looking straight up nasty. People been whispering for months about how they really living, but now the puzzle pieces are finally snapping into place, and it's not a pretty picture. First, let's talk about those leaked conversations, because in them, Lil Meech is literally out here begging.
Begging you, please delete this stuff. This is my reputation, bro. I apologize for saying what I said to you. Please, man.
But you said it was capped, though. What was capped, Demetrius?
Celina, I said that to get the post deleted, Celina.
Okay. You're right. But now you want to make me look like a liar in front of the internet. It's crazy, Demetrius.
That's not how I tried to make you seem. I apologize for that.
That's not the voice of somebody moving like a boss or standing untouchable. That's the sound of somebody cornered with no moves left. You can hear it plain as day, the tone of desperation in his voice. Like every option already dried up, and it gets worse. He keeps circling back, fumbling excuses, scrambling to make himself sound believable. But then he makes the slip up that kills the whole act. He admits straight up that he lied just to convince Celina Powell to take down a post. That's humiliation in the rawest form, because once the internet catches you lying, there's no erasing it. Screenshots live forever, and the memes, they'll haunt you longer than your reputation. But here's where things really spin out. For years, the legend around Big Meech was untouchable. The story went that the BMF kingpin had millions stashed away, money tucked in ceilings, hidden behind walls, offshore accounts waiting like treasure chests. The myth was that when he finally walked free last October, he'd be stepping back into riches stacked to the sky. But according to Celina Powell, that fantasy is nothing but smoke and mirrors. She claims the reality behind the curtain is way different, and that supposed empire of secret millions might not even exist at all. Celina Powell, the same woman who's made a whole career out of exposing rappers and celebrities, jumped in claiming the situation is worse than anyone thought. She says not only is Lil Meech broke, but his father Big Meech is in the same boat, living off favors instead of fortune. According to her, she spent time with Lil Meech and quickly saw the cracks in his so-called big baller image. She claims he was strung out on pills, moving reckless and slipping heavy. Even wilder, she says she personally stood there and watched his Lamborghini Urus and Ferrari get snatched right from under him. Not because of beef, not because of haters, but simply because he couldn't keep up with the sky-high payments and insurance. Now pause and think on that. Exotic cars come with insurance bills so insane they can run $8,000 to $10,000 every 6 months. That's basically like paying another car note, except it's for a luxury you don't even own outright. And if your money isn't flowing steady, those bills will crush you fast. That's the kind of lifestyle that looks shiny on Instagram, but is drowning you behind the scenes. But Celina didn't stop with just repossessions. She took it even further. She dropped claims that both Lil Meech and Big Meech are holed up in one of Floyd Mayweather's Miami mansions, not owning it, not even renting it, just staying there like it's borrowed space or some extended Airbnb situation. And when you step back and connect the dots, her story starts to sound real. Remember when 50 Cent cut ties? First, he canceled the BMF TV show, then pulled the plug on that massive Welcome Home concert for Big Meech. Those two moves wiped out their main money streams overnight. With that relationship dead, their financial stability collapsed right along with it.
And the first time I met 50, it was just genuine. And I sat by him and we actually got to watch people audition for a couple hours. And the next day he called me, 8 o'clock in the morning, woke me up. I'm like, damn, 50 calling me. So I answered the phone, he like, hey, what you think about going to acting classes? I want you to play your dad. And at first, it sounded crazy, but of course, I'm gonna do it. I'm not doing nothing, so of course I wanted to do it. I just didn't know if I could do it.
The draft from Randy because it was important to show the origin story, to see the innocence and how they chose to get involved, and then it grew. Well,
what once looked like an untouchable empire now looks like smoke and mirrors, and the cracks, they're right out in the open for the whole world to see. It's tough to watch this play out because the old heads in the game still remember Big Meech's golden era like it was yesterday. Back then, he wasn't just getting money, he was money. He defined what living larger than life really meant. He didn't just flex, he wrote the manual on how to flex and turned it into a lifestyle that rappers still copy today. Picture this, Maybachs and Lambos lined up like toy cars, private jets on standby, diamond watches flooding both wrists, designer outfits flowing like water. Clubs would literally shut down just to let BMF roll in, and once they hit the scene, cash rained so heavy it looked like leaves falling in autumn. He pioneered that whole culture of spending loud, showing power not by what you saved, but by how much you could waste in one night. But now, decades later, every single dollar that hit those club floors is a dollar he probably wishes was still stacked in the vault. That's the cold reality. The same game that feeds you can flip and starve you when the bills finally come due. Flexing reckless always has a price tag, and eventually somebody's gotta pay it. The sting cuts even deeper watching Lil Meech fold under that massive shadow. How do you come from one of the most legendary street empires in history only to get exposed by somebody like Celina Powell? Let's keep it real. She's not the type of woman men brag about. She's infamous for being the modern day superhead, bouncing from one celebrity to the next, using connections to climb, then blasting private business the second the money dries up. That's her whole pattern, and the streets know it. Any father with real game would warn his son to steer clear of women like that, no hesitation. And Big Meech, a man who survived an era of hustling, betrayal, and feds on his neck, definitely knew the playbook. But Lil Meech, he either didn't listen or thought his name made him untouchable. And that's exactly when the biggest mistakes get made. Celina Powell didn't just stop at flexing about repossessed whips or the Mayweather house connection. She went even deeper with her shots. She flat out accused Lil Meech of having a heavy pill problem, and that's not just dangerous for his health, that's a direct hit to his image and credibility. Once people start believing addiction has you in a chokehold, every move you make gets viewed through that lens. Suddenly nothing looks solid anymore. But then came her wildest bomb of all. She called him a snitch. According to her, this ties back to a pullover where cops found a gun in the car. She claims that instead of standing tall and taking the charge, he pointed at his own homie, who ended up doing time while Lil Meech walked away free. Now, whether her story is true or not, once a rumor like that hits the streets, especially with the Meech name attached, it's almost impossible to wash it off. A snitch label sticks forever, and in street culture, even a whisper of it can stain your whole legacy. Now let's zoom out. If the internet had been around during the height of BMF's reign, just imagine the madness. Every scandal, every flex, every rumor would have been blasted worldwide in seconds. Back then, dirt only spread through whispers, coded magazine stories, and word of mouth in the streets. Today, screenshots, recordings, and videos fly across the internet faster than a rumor can be denied. That's why in this era, reality matters more than the image. When you're really up, there's no need to beg, fake, or overflex. But when you're broke in real life while still posing on social media, somebody who knows the truth will always come forward, and they'll bring receipts with them. That's exactly what we're seeing now, bawling loud for the public, but begging quiet behind closed doors. And when the name Meech is tied to that storyline, it hits way harder. The lesson buried in all this is simple. Live within your means. If the money is running tight, there's no shame in dropping the flashy act. Forget the Lambos and Ferraris if you can't afford them, because those toys will drown you faster than they impress strangers online. There's absolutely nothing wrong with driving a Honda, Toyota, or any solid ride if it keeps your bills clean and your peace steady. Stability will always shine brighter than fake luxury. And if times get rough, pawn the extra jewelry, sell off what you don't need, and start stacking in silence. Quiet money grows, loud money disappears, because once you reach the point where you're begging somebody to delete posts, scrambling on phone calls, and doing desperate damage control, the damage is already locked in. And with today's phones, every call can be recorded, every DM can be screenshotted, and every slip up can go viral in seconds. Nothing stays secret anymore, and once it's on the internet, it's stamped there forever. On top of the money drama, Lil Meech has another mountain standing in his way. He's gotta get clean. If the rumors about him drowning in pills are true, that explains half the reckless choices and sloppy behavior we've been seeing. Too many times when somebody's high, they move desperate, trusting the wrong people, saying the wrong things, and making promises they can't keep. By the time sobriety kicks in, it's already too late. The damage is done, the footage is out, the screenshots are saved, and the audio clips are everywhere. That's the perfect recipe for a career to crash in real time, and that's exactly what we're watching unfold. Recordings surfacing left and right, wild allegations stacking up, non-stop exposure hitting back to back. It doesn't just drag Lil Meech down, it makes his father look weak by association, like the empire they built brick by brick is now crumbling into dust. And let's be real, Big Meech himself isn't the same untouchable figure he once was. In the 90s and early 2000s, BMF wasn't just big, it was legendary. Fleets of exotic cars, private jets on standby, the biggest VIP sections locked down, and heavy influence inside the music game. Back then, just being tied to BMF could give an artist like Young Jeezy a whole career boost. That's how much weight the movement carried. But fast forward to today, and it's a whole new world. That kind of flashy empire simply can't survive under the all-seeing eye of social media. Cameras are everywhere, eyes are everywhere, and the tiniest crack in the image gets blown up to full scale. Instead of quiet power growing in the shadows, the Meech legacy is taking hit after hit online in front of millions. In the end, what we're really witnessing is the unraveling of a family that was once feared, respected, and admired, now being humiliated by their own missteps. A father who once showed the streets how to shine is now mostly silent, showing up in photos but rarely speaking, while his son spirals in public for everyone to judge. And the same fans who once idolized them, they're now sitting back like it's a Netflix series watching the downfall play out in real time. The moral here couldn't be louder. Don't build your image on lies. Don't waste your money on luxuries you can't maintain, and never hand access to people who live off exposing weakness, because the internet is savage. The same crowd that hypes you today will flip tomorrow and expose everything. And once that switch flips, there's no coming back from it. If you rock with this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment, share this video with your people, and of course, subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one.